But Martin, once God tells you to move, it's just better to move. Unless you'll be stuck in a place for a long time. And I don't think that's what you want.
No, actually, that's not what I want.
Yes, take a step of faith,
What about the storm?
What storm?
See, the thing is, no lady wants to follow a guy that is battling storms.
Can I shock you? No lady wants to have anything to do with a man who lacks the faith to walk on storm.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Foladim Lola, and in today's video I'll be reviewing the episode 5 of Abattoir season 6 and as well sharing my expectation for the next episode. If you're interested, do keep on watching.
I want to use YouTube to cook the food that we would all eat at Mama's birthday.
Cecilia, that was the best way I could cut cost.
A minute, please. Hey. This guy is a clown.
Okay, so let's start with the first scene. Martins is happy and all of us together, we are happy for him. I'm very happy for him. That scene where he walked in on Mama Gbenro watering the garden or the plant, I was just so scared a bit. I'm like, let this man not go and jab and go and say things, but I was really excited that he didn't say anything. Let me just jump onto the scene where Martins called Ella Stabita clothing line to make dress for Mama Gbenro, and he was so excited about how that was just making Mama Gbenro happy. And I'm so glad because this man had mentioned that doing something for Mama Gbenro was going to mean a lot. And of course, we saw it from the reaction of the surprises and how she felt honored and all of that. Now, let's talk about Gbenro. Why? Now, again, I deeply feel like the reason why he felt it's necessary to give that 250k to Mama Gbenro was because he felt guilty, of course, because he had the money to go with friends to a fancy restaurant, but he didn't have the money to do surprise birthday party for his mom because he felt like the mom didn't need it anyway. Now, Officer Gabriel went to the morgue to try and see or to identify if or to find out if he was going to identify the bodies there. And of course, ascertained that Ayana was missing, right? I said it in my last review that the idea of Officer Pius trying to put rat poison in Ayana's food is not going to work. I mean, I don't understand. For someone that was laughing when they went to the, should I call it the sorcerer or the diviner to find out where Ayana was, the diviner told you guys that you could hear him laugh, and that should actually mean something to you. Now, you think that the person that could not die by gunshot was going to die by rat poison. And important to mention that I emphasize that it's either, Emily, please. I mentioned that it's either that Ayana was going to flip the poison food scene where it's either the daughter or the child is the daughter anyways, the wife or Officer Pius himself. Of course, I'm still going to talk about that. Now, it's so sad because it seems as though Officer Pius's wife was the one coming to her senses, like saying that, okay, this does not look like the battle they can fight themselves. They have to employ God's help to fight it and all. But it's so also sad to see that this man still thinks that he can fight it with fists. He feels that this battle is something that he can fight with just, I don't know. Like, I feel like the devil has even gone ahead to blind his heart to think that his senses can work. I don't know if it's part of the military, whatever, but he just does not understand that this man is deeply spiritual and we need to be spiritual to actually fight whatever was going on with him. So now, the sacrifice of the secret seer of the underworld, that conversation between Kante and Paul Israel, how the sacrifice between the secret seer of the underworld, or that goes on with the secret seer of the underworld, was deeply sponsored by greed. I even said it because before he mentioned, I was like, it's deeply sponsored by selfishness and passion. They really want to attain power. They are power drunk. There's a height they are so passionate about, and they do not care whatever is going to take them to get to that height. And that is one of the major sponsors of whatever propel them to actually use the person dear to their heart. Now, Jesus came to give life abundantly. I'm so glad that Paul Israel mentioned that, and I wanted to dwell on it a bit. So when people try to minister salvation to people, or try to say, oh, come to Jesus, come accept the life of Christ and all of that, and they try to woo people and say something around, oh, when you come to Jesus, you will not be poor, you would be healed and all, you will be very rich, you'll be wealthy, you will do well. Why that in itself is a package that comes with the redemption, it's part of the redemption package. That is not the ultimate thing that Jesus came to do. Jesus came to give life. When we study the fall of man, how the generation of man fell with Adam and all of that, we would understand that it was the life of God in us that was corrupted. So the process of Jesus coming back as the sacrificial lamb is primarily and most importantly to give us life abundantly, God's life, Zoe. So when people miss out on that detail of explaining that Jesus' primary reason for dying, for the crucifixion, for the resurrection, for the burial, for the ascension and exaltation is to give us life, it feels they water a lot of things down. Jesus didn't come. People were rich before Jesus came. Jesus' earthly ministry. They were not saved, but they were rich. If they had they had diviners, people that had even medical interventions, they were going to get healed medically. and without Jesus' intervention, even for people that they work with dark powers. So that is not ultimately what Jesus came to do. He came to give us life. And I'm so glad that this was buttressed. So I just love the scene where they were talking about, get sense, you now get sense. And that's another thing. There is the wisdom of God that is more than the wisdom of this world, if you understand what I mean. So now, Engineer Kolapo, I'm a bit confused because it seems every single person around Engineer Kolapo picks the signal that this man is literally walking barefooted on hot coals, without preparation, without shielding himself, and with no first aid, whatever. If you get what I'm saying. Because tell me why every single person gets to understand that this man is obviously walking in pride and not even with just an atom of God's covering. The wife notices it and is saying something around, oh, there is restlessness, and he goes ahead and says, oh, maybe it's because you're not praying enough. Baba, you didn't pray. Oh. No, you didn't pray. You felt as though because when you had just accepted the life of Christ and you were able to defeat Grandmaster, that meant that for every other thing, even if you're walking in disobedience. Because it's just fascinating to think that every single person is really a message to him. It's just like God beaming light and be like, wow, 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 use your sense. But he just refuses to listen to every reasonable voice of reasoning in his life. And it's so pathetic and it's so scary because whatever is waiting for him. I mean, let me jump a bit. Look at that scene where he was going through debates. I mean, before he went through the debates, I was seeing the movie with my younger sister. I didn't know when I screamed, this man was eating. Hell, this man was taking wine before go. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The fact that he didn't even understand what he was up against. And I love the fact that Akin made it known to him after the debate and says, do you think that because the man was quiet, it means that he didn't know what he was doing or anything? This man did not even, in fact, the anchor was trying to say, I didn't throw the question. Even ethically, the question was not meant for you. At least wait till they will ask you that about your own leadership. Then you can use the opportunity to tell people about your portfolio, the things you will do. I mean, of course, I won't leave the fact that the Sir Prince Lewis's candidate was a very anyhow person. I mean, let's even talk about it. Even if someone was going to hand over the power or the seat of the governor to you, at least pretend that you're going to do something there. Even if we know where there's nothing you want to do, at least pretend that you have something reasonable. Why does he keep referencing or his leader? I'm not saying that he shouldn't honor whatever he believes in and whoever is his leader, but he does not even have anything to do. If we were supposed to go about how they were doing the debate intellectually, he didn't say anything. But even at that, we won't be oblivious to the fact that, in a way, the people who might not really care like that. But I felt like the opportunity for Engineer Kolapo to express himself and his ability and the things he had planned was when they would ask him questions, not when he would start going against and using the report that he had acquired when he was part of the secrecy of the other world. It's just so annoying to see. Anyways, I move on. So the conversation with Martins and what's it called, and Barrister Cecilia. So Barrister Cecilia puts a call through, and one thing I would like to say is, there are times where the Holy Spirit nudges us in a certain direction that we do not know the reason why. And I mean, I was really shocked when Martin says, oh, he was the caterer. No wonder Cecilia was exclaiming when he says, oh, 250k, that's what they want to use to plan the party. And it was like, 250k, I'll give you 500, because of course, since don't cost, so if you did Nigeria, you get. So it needs to be done well. And of course, for the caliber of person that Cecilia is, I think that I understand where she's coming from. But anyways, now to the market scene, the conversation around, what's it called, faith to walk on storm. I actually wrote it down. Let me read it out. It says she says that no lady would want a man that doesn't have the faith to walk on storm. So she says that the instruction when God tells you to move would move. And no, I'm taking it out of the context of what even happened in this movie. This is just a general rule that should apply to a believer's life, that when God tells you something, when he says something to you, and you stay with him enough to have the faith to move, I think that we should move. And this might be a word from someone. You've seen the movie. It's not just about that context. If God is telling you to start that business, if God is telling you to start that clothing line, God is telling you to start that thing that he has put into your heart, he has given you the assignment and you've stayed with him with the power enough, then you have to go ahead. You have the backing of the Most High. The faith it takes for you to now start without even seeing the physical things that would most probably give you the courage. That is part of the journey. That's part of the process. That is part of you exercising your faith in God. And then she had mentioned about how people follow their instincts instead of the director's script. And that is one thing that I would say Benro keeps on doing. Now, let's talk about Benro. Benro is someone that actually, he drifts each time, or should I say he's a carnal Christian. He's someone that is largely led by his emotion. He does not think that the speakings of God really matter, even though you understand the state of God in his life, but he feels like there are things that he could use his mind for and just go away and go scot-free with it. So that is part of people that they don't really follow the script of the director. So again, Engineer Kolapo is in deep shit. This man says people gave him ovation. I love the fact that Akin threw away engineer. He won chief. He threw away chief too. Say Mr. Kolapo. You can use chief. I said it. This man is deeply working in pride. And the Bible already says it well. Pride, it goeth before a fall. Jesus. This man, I'm just very sorry for him. Anyways, I knew that. The last thing, I knew it. I saw it coming. I knew that. Again, are you people joking? Do people think that someone that you went to a diviner's house or a diviner's house to know where he was, and the diviner told you guys that he heard him laugh, and just in your mind of mind, you assumed that he does not hear your conversations? I'm curious, like I'm perplexed at the level of their naivety. So I was trying to understand, do you think that this man would not listen to the conversation? Apart from the fact that they were in the same house, this guy is not human. He is not human. I don't know. Anyways, I'm hoping, let me talk about my expectation. I'm really hoping that that girl does not hit that. They should have given it to Officer Pius. Please. Ayana should have given it to Officer Pius. But I understand why he's not giving it to Officer Pius in a way. Because of why? He feels like he wants to, the pain that they wanted him to go through, he's going to watch their daughter go through it. I'm just hoping that either the mom or Officer Pius, without his nonsense idea that he's brought, is going to stop, at least carry the food and eat it, and not let the innocent daughter die. So now, we saw the expectation for the next episode. We saw that Natalie paid for Benro's, Benro's food and his colleagues, like whatever they had or whatever they took at the restaurant. Now, let's do a bit backstory. Sorry, I had to pause, but I was saying that, so Natalie had paid for whatever Benro and his colleague ate or his friends. So now, let's do a bit of backtracking. Important to mention that Natalie was once in a relationship with Akin. Also, Engineer Kolapo, that is the Grandmaster candidate running mate or opposition gubernatorial candidate of the opposition party, Engineer Kolapo's daughter, that the character that was played by Tolulope Mike Bamiloye, that was engaged to Benro in like 2 seasons away, was Engineer Kolapo's only daughter. So now I'm very sure that that information is privy to Natalie, because important to mention that Natalie is Grandmaster's daughter, and that lady was paid because Engineer Kolapo gave her over during whatever, when it was still the secrecy of the underworld. So I strongly believe that Benro is going to be used as part of the bait to get Engineer Kolapo down. Benro is one of the whatever, it was one of the means. And getting him, it would get through to obviously Akin, because now it seems that they have to look for any other way to find something on Engineer Kolapo. That is just my submission. I really think so. And of course, with Cecilia again, it's another way to think about it. That with Cecilia, remember that Cecilia is Natalie's half sister, and Benro again was in a situationship with Cecilia. So it just like there's just a lot of scenario rounded up with Natalie showing up and paying for whatever Benro are taking. I just again hope that Benro does not go and fall in love with the devil's child, because again, because it does not even have sense, because it does not work in the spirit, sha. Now, I just hope, I really hope that Officer Gabriel is not in deep shit. I already said it in my last review. She was already pushing too much. She was already pushing too much, and it was annoying. Oh, Jesus. Now, Ayana disguised as a police officer to go and say he wants to say. Me, I knew that I was going to come after her, because if she had not made that call, if she had stopped calling Officer Pius or cut the call, while I understand why she might not want to cut it because of the previous shenanigan and the track record of nonsense that guy has, he would have just stopped. Maybe would have saved her from this stress, because the husband actually went away with all this investigative journalism, whatever. And I'm just hoping that this lady, it's either she knows God or she's holding, or maybe her child is not even in Nigeria. Again, Hyena is well connected because he's a tool in the hand of the Grandmaster. So it feels like a lot of things are just connected all together. Anyways, I hope she finds a way out, because all those you are blinking out gone, bro. Stop it. One of my next expectation in the next episode, is that you see that gentleness that we saw from Grandmaster displaying. You like saying they think of waiting go to. In case you don't know that, in normal English, it means that he's sitting down, calming down to think of his next move against Engineer Kolapo, and he's going to have it out from him. I deeply believe that, because I really believe that he's going to have it out with Engineer Kolapo is going to have it out with Grandmaster, aka Sir Prince Louis, because again, I believe that Natalie is a tool to get back at Engineer Kolapo. Okay, I'll move on. Now that he has selective armor of God, I just hope that his wife, that's Engineer Kolapo's wife, is going to rise up to the occasion. Because tell me why every other person that could speak to him, i.e. Akin, i.e. Chief Duroson, has literally left him. Sorry, he chased them. He chased them. Now he's left alone. I really think that devil is part of the whatever this strategy of him chasing everybody that could speak senses into his head is therefore strategy of having him to himself. I really believe that, and he really thinks that because governor is on his side, governor that is afraid of his own grandmastership, you not think, babe? Oh, Savior help us. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your love. Thank you for the like. I will see you in my next review. To then stay safe and God bless you. Bye. Subscribe on your way out.